Liverpool. With goals from Ekitike and Isak, Spurs saw 2 reds in the game for Romero and Seaman. Seaman's red card was originally a yellow card after he came down in Van Dijk's heel. Right, what did you think about it?
Terrible tackle. You know when it used to get called, Ali, a striker's challenge?
Yeah.
No, we couldn't tackle, could we? And you'd end up like, don't tackle because you're going to get sent off.
I don't think he means it.
No, it's his mate.
It's horrible,
from the Dutch national team. It's just clumsy. Gordon done one early on in the season, so Van Dijk as well.
He did.
Got sent off.
He did.
It's a red card straight away, and it summed up his performance. It summed up his career at Spurs so far. He's not lived up to expectation, and he cost his team because there's nothing in it.
No, nothing in the game at that point. Well,
11-11.
Never mind, you and I think about it. Let's hear what Thomas Frank said about it after the game.
We have seen it before, so it's not that I don't understand it, but I also said before I think it's wrong when it's not reckless, it's not with exceptional force, it's because he's chasing a player and want to press and they're changing a direction. So it happens. There's something wrong with that red card. I have that opinion before.
Okay, we're going to bring in the host of the Spurs Chat Podcast, Chris Cowlin, for more on this. Good morning, Chris. How are you?
Good morning, Chris.
Ali, Gabby, good morning to you. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for joining us, Chris. Now, and season's greetings to you. The red card, we'll start with the red card, mate. What did you think?
As Gabby said, it was very clumsy. I think when you slow it down, it looks even worse, but it was a very clumsy tackle. What I would say is the referee originally gave a yellow card. I think we could talk about this all morning about VAR. They overturned the decision or they made the referee go to the screen, which, ultimately means that he's going to be sent off, but, re-refereeing games. But it was a very, very clumsy tackle. I don't think he meant it. It was just a clumsy tackle. And, it's funny because Spurs actually played better with 10 men and then we actually played better with 9 men, which is a whole different story.
Talk to me about Romero sending off. I mean, you got the foul. Last couple of minutes of the game, why are you kicking out? He can't help himself, can he? He was bubbling. The anger you could see within him in the last 30 minutes. But you're a captain, you're a leader.
Yeah, I completely agree, Gabby. He must conduct himself in a much better way, particularly being captain and a leader in that team. The first yellow card because he got in the referee's face because of the Ekitike goal, which most Spurs fans inside the stadium felt that was a push and felt that was a free kick. The Spurs team, certainly Romero, felt that as well. But the second yellow card at the end, when we had a really dominant spell in the game, our best spell in the game, there was still 6 minutes of added time still to play, and we felt that we were going to get that equaliser as well. To lash out like that was really stupid. He walked down the tunnel, and even a couple of minutes later, he tried to walk back down the tunnel to talk to the fourth official. But the Spurs team were very unhappy. But I must say it was a very, very poor refereeing performance. So many different decisions went Liverpool's way. So it was a frustrating day for us all round. But when you talk about home form as well, we've just broken a Premier League record for, losing 11 in the calendar year of 2025. 6 under Ange, 5 under Frank. And
what
going
needs to be done about that, mate? Because I look at my team, Aston Villa's record. I think it's 1 loss this calendar year to Crystal Palace. 11 at home. What needs to be done? Do they have to train at the ground as well to get them used to playing there? Something needs to be done.
Yeah, I feel like atmosphere has been a real issue this year, but I feel like Thomas Frank needs to look at himself as well. He's not had the best start to his Tottenham Hotspur career. We've had a lot of boos this season. The boos on Saturday were for the referee, but this season we've heard so many different atmospheres. Particularly boos at the stadium, which is not a great look. The players are underperforming, and I feel like the board need to give the manager a lot more, because when you look, since we moved in that stadium 6.5 years ago, we've gone through 6 permanent managers, 3 interim managers. Do we go through yet another manager, or do we back the manager? This is the thing. And when you look at this season as well, we've been missing creative players in Kulusevski, Maddison and Solanke. We don't know when Solanke is going to be back. So we need more quality in this team, and the home form is certainly an issue.
I think you hit a nail on the head. You said it right there, Chris. I just think the word quality, absolutely, and I do take the point, and it's not an excuse, but it's certainly a valid reason to have those quality of those 3 forward players out seriously hinders you. But I'm with you, mate. You've had 6, as you say, permanent managers. 6 very, very, I think very good coaches, very good managers. So there's something deeper. The problem is definitely deeper. And of course, Thomas Frank hasn't really hit the ground running, but I don't think there's any point you just changing again for change's sake.
The only thing, Ali, what I'd say is what is really worrying is we were very, very poor. We finished 17th, 22 league defeats under Ange Postecoglou, and everyone was very, very critical of Ange Postecoglou and the style of play. And when you look at the stats don't lie. Where Spurs are in the league at the moment, we're 4 points above 17th, where we finished last season. Mm-hmm. And under Ange at this stage of this season, we had better stats. We'd scored more goals, we conceded less, we'd had more shots, we had more shots on target, more touches in the opposition box, less errors, progressive passes, through balls. These stats don't lie. The style of football under Thomas Frank has not been entertaining. It has been boring at times. And, it's sad to see that, these last few games, there have been a lot of empty seats at the Tottenham Stadium. And when you have a stadium like that, we used to, under Pochettino, people couldn't even get a seat.
Can you blame the fans, though? Because the prices of tickets, expensive to go and watch a game of football, and you're losing majority of your home games. Why would you waste your money? Most of the games are on the TV now, the radio. Why would you waste funds to go and watch your team lose at home? Upset kids coming home upset. What's the point?
I go to every game home and away. I'm not going to ever criticise how people support their club, whether they want to boo, not boo, or take the ticket, don't take the ticket. I'm never going to criticise. Thomas Frank's criticised the fans a couple of times, which is not great to see. And I hate saying negative things about the club, but there's not a lot to cheer about at the moment, and that is the issue.
Chris, all the best to you, mate. Thanks for joining us. Season's greetings. Have a good Christmas, mate.
Money's tight, Ali.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Ali, money's tight. What are you going to waste?